A Family Business, The Patel Brothers, Part 1.
So, Vijay, you started your business with the equivalent of a corner store, except it was a pharmacy.
Yes, it was a pharmacy indeed, yes.
Now, Bhikkhu, what was it in you two that made you go from that one corner store to what we have now?
Well, what I did, I studied to be an architect, worked in private practices and so on, and ultimately decided it was not for me. So, thereafter, I went into business, which was a couple of corner stores. But then, after a couple of years, I left it, and I came across to where my brother Vijay was and joined him. And by then, he had started his pharmacy business, made a success of it, and by the time I joined him, I think he had about 3 or 4, quite a few stores, and we decided to go in together.
Two brothers working in the same business could be a recipe for disaster, power struggles and all the rest of it. But in your cases, what is it? What do you each bring that the other perhaps lacks?
Bhikkhu is a trained architect, and Bhikkhu has a tremendously disciplined mind and a very high IQ. So I was building up a very, very successful enterprise. That's something I do have in me, the vision, the go, even if I say so myself. But I do lack the discipline to look after it. And hence, Bhikkhu's strength really enhances my weakness tremendously. So the deal was, I make the wealth, brother, you look after it. Today, 20 or 22, 23 years on, that stays.
Yeah, so it works very well. I think basically we complement each other. And where we're different from other people perhaps, there isn't a lot of sibling rivalry. A lot of it is for the greater good of the family. A lot of Asian families are like that. They look after the family as a whole. And I think that comes across in our relationship as well, really. And that is important.
On the subject of family, you mentioned earlier how much of a role your mother had in your early life, especially after your father died. Is she with you now?
Indeed she is. And do you know, she is a very strong person. She lives with me. She's a very strong personality. A truly great lady. She sacrificed her entire life. She just worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for so many years until we were grown up enough to leave the nest, as it were.
A Family Business, The Patel Brothers, Part 2.
You've just been nominated or named as Joint Entrepreneurs of the Year. What was it for, Vijay?
Well, coming from where we did, to actually build a successful business, and the other thing is to actually provide employment. We provide employment for 600 people directly.
Do you think success has spoiled the Patels?
Speaking for myself and my brother, I don't think it has. We are not the sort of helicopter or yacht people in any sense. I can truly say that we do not see ourselves any different to how we saw ourselves when we were younger. In fact, we have the same friends that we had when we were children, same high school and college friends. We still keep in touch with them. And I would like to think that we're approachable. So I would say it hasn't really spoiled or changed us. Yeah? Clearly, in terms of luxuries in life, one tends to sort of indulge oneself a little bit, but not extraordinarily, I hope. Isn't that right, Bhikkhu?
No way extravagantly. Because if I could go on the train somewhere rather than the car, then I would. That sums up our, approach to life. I would rather do some philanthropic work than waste money.
One final question. Young people starting out, what sort of advice would you give them?
Should I go first?
Yeah, do.
Live your dreams. If you have an ambition, go for it. Do not let little, small distractions or calamities stop you. Chase your dreams and go for it. That's exactly what I have done. That's where I would like to be a role model for anybody who wants to be somebody tomorrow. To see what we have done, and if I can touch one life, then my job in this world is done.
What about you, Bhikkhu?
Well, what I would say is, with dreams, one needs a dose of reality, a lot of hard work, and as Vijay says, not to be set back by any temporary kind of difficulties.